Hi there, students. To make a mess of something, to do something really badly. So I made a mess of the interview, and of course I didn't get the job. To make a pig's ear of something, to make a hash of something, to make a mess of something. I gave him really clear instructions on how to do it, but he really made a mess of it. I seem to have made a mess of my personal life, to spoil, to do something badly. The government has clearly made a mess of the economy. So they've done it really badly. Let's see, notice to make a mess is different or can be different. So I cooked dinner for my wife and I made a terrible mess in the kitchen. Okay, so things everywhere. The food was really nice and she really enjoyed it. But I made a mess of the kitchen. Yeah, I made a mess in the kitchen. So that's another meaning. But to make a mess of something, to do something really badly. My boss made a mess of the project and he nearly lost his job. To ruin or to spoil. To perform something badly, to handle it badly. To ruin a task, to ruin a situation. So, yeah, he made a mess of the presentation. I made a mess of my homework. To bungle, to mishandle. I really made a mess of it. I did it really badly. Many people make a mess of handling money. She managed to make a mess of her personal relationships. So to bungle, he managed to make a mess of it. To mess up, apparently he made a mess of his audition. They've really made a mess of things now. So this is about not doing something well, not doing it completely. I'm afraid I made a real mess of my final exams, and I'm not likely to pass. He made a real mess of his life by drinking too much. The county council has made a mess of things and spent far too much money, and now they owe a lot of money. So to ruin something, to make many mistakes. I made a mess of my speech and I'm not very happy with what I did. To make a hash of it. The government made a total hash of things. He's bungled, he's muddled it, he's messed up. They made a thorough mess of this. Okay, so they screwed up, they did it badly. The contractor made a mess of the flooring. I made a mess of the test, but the teacher decided to give me a second chance. I followed the recipe, but I made a real mess of the recipe. I also made a mess in the kitchen. I made it very untidy. So to make a mess, to create a dirty or untidy state, to make a mess of, to bungle, to do badly. So to make a mess of doing something. I made a complete mess of the whole exam. I made a real hash of it. I did it very badly. Yeah, I'm not very proud of how I did it. So I guess you could physically create a mess, or you can fail to execute a task properly. Oh yeah, thank you to Ronan for this idea. It always occurs to me at the end. So, to make a mess of something. I hope I haven't made a mess of this explanation. Formality, to make a mess. 4.5 in formality. Use anywhere except for something very formal. To make a mess of. Bye for now.